Back students, we are basically discussing concept of enantiomer divergence, and we said that decimmetrization and divergence are very much well linked together, and if you are thinking about a decimmetrization of a prochiral entity, that basically leads you to divergence. Now, normally we will try to give you a similar kind of problem in our next assignment, and here we will give you a compound which is this compound. This compound, I say you have to convert this compound to both the enantiomers of this product, which is basically nothing but a lactone, 6 member lactone. Now, if you see these compounds are basically mirror image isomer or enantiomers. Okay. So, what in reality you need to think about, the initial starting compound is a prochiral compound. It is a prochiral compound, means that this CH2CO2Me and this CH2CO2Me is enantiotopic. Now, for your sake of simplicity, if the topicity was not covered or not properly taught to you, so you just remember that if the molecule is having sigma V, the similar kind of group having enantiotopic behavior. If it is having C2 symmetry, these groups will be homotopic. We will be explaining this C2 symmetric and homotopic little bit later on. Now, if the compounds are having a one compound like this, if it is having constitutionally symmetrical part and you have a sigma plane, you can say that this OH and this OH are enantiotopic to each other. You can consider through a symmetry element consideration, or you can do a substitution pattern, which is also available in standard stereochemical textbook. So, now I am saying that you are having a prochiral compound, the assignment was given that you need to convert it to a 2 enantiomeric lactone. Now, the initial reaction basically you have to do it a chiral decimmetrization reaction, which will lead you to the divergence. Now, also the point is, two of the functional groups are basically similar. So, it means that this part is remains fixed, the central part is remain fixed, and then you are basically targeting one reacting site at first, keeping this part intact, and another sequences you trying to do this part first, this part later on. So, basically right hand first, left hand second, left hand first, right hand second, that basically gives you 2 enantiomer. Enantiomers are what? Right hand and your left hand, handedness. So, now based on this information we will try to analyze this particular problem. The starting material is CH2CO2Me, CH2CO2Me. Now, I say for this kind of chiral decimmetrization you need to put them in a chiral environment, and this chiral environment basically we have not talked about, but probably one of the chiral environment is given by a enzyme named hydrolase. Hydrolase are enzyme which basically hydrolyze the ester bonds. Okay, we are not going to discuss about very detail in the mechanism. This hydrolase is abbreviated as PLE, which is named as pig liver esterase, which have been isolated from pig liver. It is a very nice enzyme, and it can basically give you a, out of this 2 enantiotopic group, one of the enantiotopic group is hydrolyzed, and it basically you can get this particular enantiomer as a main product, only this enantiomer, because hydrolysis of this group only. If it hydrolyze this group, you get the other enantiomer. So, now once you get this compound, Now you have to think about the divergency. The divergency can only be created if you think about first doing the reaction here, keeping this part intact, you get one enantiomer. Now you do this reaction first. So now we will be trying to do it. You are having a carboxylic acid here, you are having a carboxylic ester here. Now both the carboxylic acid and ester have a little bit different reactivity pattern. So, initial case, if you react with a metal hydride like lithium borohydride, not metal hydride, basically borohydrides. The borohydrides are milder reducing agent and they are normally known to reduce the corresponding ester group, not the acid. So, acids won't be touched and you basically get this compound. Okay. Now, this compound will give you, after this simple lactonization, will give you one of this lactone whose structure is fine. In second case, as I said, first we touch the ester. In the other route where you have to create the divergency, you need to touch the acid first. Now, acid how can you reduce in presence of ester? The best reagent is boron, boron THF or boron diboron. Now, boron basically, if you go to a standard textbook, boron first react with this carboxylic acid to give you the acyl boron complexes. So, it substantially enhances the electrophilicity of this carboxylic acid. Then hydride transfer takes part from this boron and is basically reducing the carboxylic acid to give you the primary alcohol. Now, you see it is almost, you first case you do the right hand side reaction and another case you do the left hand side reaction. So, now here if you now close the ring, it will react in this fashion and then what you will get? You get this now what are those compounds? These compounds are mirror image enantiomer. So, both the enantiomers you can get starting from a single starting material. So, desymmetrization coupled with divergency is achieved. So, this desymmetrization is coupled with divergency. That is what we are discussing, the desymmetrization plus divergency. Now, this desymmetrization basically mirror plane differentiating reaction, fine. So, we will keep on talking about this divergency and how this two enantiomers of same product can be usually synthesized from a single starting material. Next, we will not give you a I said desymmetrization can be of two type. Normally, we always talk about desymmetrization or of a prochiral assembly. So, means molecule is not exactly chiral. Now, and that will also give you the divergency. Now, here the next problem which I am giving to you, you are having this epoxide. I am saying that convert this epoxide to both the enantiomers of the target molecule this. Now, this compound is a natural product, its name as Salactol. Now, Salactol is basically used in perfume industry, it is having very nice smell, perfume industry is often used. Now, two enantiomer means you basically need to make both the enantiomers like this as well as this, clear. Now, we will now try to explore how these things has been done. Eventually, here if you can see, the starting material has already one stereo center. Okay. So, this particular chirality will lead you one of this enantiomer definitely by some FGI. Now, for other enantiomer definitely you need to invert the stereo center by some means to get the other enantiomer. And if you now count the number of carbon, you basically 1, 2, 3 is the main backbone, this 1, 2, 3, you basically need to introduce this extra carbon backbone. So, now we will try to do the retro, because retro was our main focus. So, what we try to do? We will try to do the retro for simple without talking about the enantiomer. Now, I am saying that if you have this kind of compound, you can easily do a lithium aluminum hydride reduction to convert the CH2OTS to methyl. Fine. Now, this the starting material was given, we need to figure it out how this starting material was basically coming. Then we are saying that this OH is coming from this OBN, this OBN. Okay. Now, try to analyze this bond. If you cut, means that you put this epoxide here and you react with some nucleophile something like this. So, if it attacks here, it opens up to give you this compound. So, the starting material is here, and now we start with the chiral starting material which was given to you. The starting material which was given to us is this, and then you react with a Grignard reagent which is very easily available. It is named as prenyl Grignard, it is a prenyl bromide and prenyl Grignard reagent. It can be easily prepared. This prenyl Grignard will open the epoxide in a less hindered site, and basically first you get this OH OBN, very simple. So, we will continue the synthesis. What you need to do? You need to convert this benzyl to tosylate. So, what you do? You just do a debenzylation by palladium charcoal hydrogen and you get this OH CH2OH. Fine. Now, you are having a primary alcohol, secondary alcohol. Primary alcohol reacts faster, 1 equivalent of tosyl chloride. You can basically get this OH CH2 OTS. Now, just do a lithium aluminum hydride based reduction or reductive removal of this tosyl group. So, you get one enantiomer of Salactol, that was one enantiomer. Now, if you now see it, initial opening of this epoxide will give you this intermediate whose structure now I am again drawing, because for the other enantiomer you need to do similar things. Now, I say I want to convert this enantiomer to this stereo inverted enantiomer. Now, the answer is there, already you have discussed it. You can simply do a Mitsunobu inversion by a Mitsunobu reaction. So, take triphenyl phosphine, diethyl azodicarboxylate, acetic acid followed by potassium carbonate, that will give you the inverted thing. Now, the same thing you do palladium charcoal hydrogen, you will basically get this OH and this primary, then you react with 1 equivalent of tosyl chloride, 1 equivalent, you get OH primary is reacted, you simply reacting with lithium aluminum hydride, you will find that this will now complete the synthesis. So, other enantiomer of Salactol also can be made. So, the divergence basically now here can be easily created, divergence can be easily created from same starting material. The pathway you have already said, you have an intermediate, you do a FGI, you get the product, one enantiomer plus product. Now, here I said this intermediate, if it is possible, you do a inversion or stereo mutation, you get another intermediate which is inverted. Now, do the same sequence of FGI to complete the synthesis. So, this stereo inversion or stereo mutation was very important, and you can basically try to think about this kind of reaction in a numerous pathway. We will try to do similar kind of exercises by taking a very simple example. I am saying I will give you this compound which is basically nothing S-ethyl lactate. This is a easily available starting material which is naturally occurring. Even you can call this as a chiral pool. Chiral pool we will discuss little bit later on. I am saying that for this compound, what you need to do? You need to prepare both the epoxide of this compound, both the enantiomer of this compound. So, this is one enantiomer, say plus enantiomer, and the other enantiomer which also you need to prepare this. So, this is now you have to think it how you can do it. Now, if you do the retro for both the enantiomer, probably a retro for this enantiomer will be like you do something like this and then put a OTS here. So, that will basically you will be O minus, doing O minus and that your ring closure, and similar case if you can get a compound like this, you can basically do a intramolecular SN2 without disturbing the stereocenter. And the chirality which is given here is this. So, now how to correlate? I am saying okay, let us do this lithium aluminum hydride reduction first. So, which will simply give you this OH CH2 OH diol, what is the diol? Now, this diol is basically having a primary hydroxy, secondary hydroxy. So, reactivity is basically differences. So, you react with one equivalent of tosyl chloride, and then so what you get? You get this OH CH2 OTS, this intermediate. Now, you treat this intermediate with sodium hydride. So, this will basically will give you a O minus and CH2 OTS, which will now intramolecularly react to this primary center. It will give you this O. Now, for the other enantiomer, probably you need something else. As I said, you probably need to invert the stereocenter. Now, this inversion is requires something else. Basically, you have a free hydroxy group. So, probably the best way is first protect this hydroxy group. Now, best protecting group for this kind of things, you basically protect with benzyl or PMB as the protecting group, benzyl bromide, PMB bromide. So, first let us do the protection, let us say benzyl. Okay. Then same like Salactol problem, you do the Missunwu inversion Mi by using triphenyl phosphine, your dead acetic acid and your potassium carbonate for acetate cleavage. So, basically you get now this compound. Benzyl removal is easily done by palladium charcoal, hydrogen, and then basically you get this OH. Next is your diol, so tosyl chloride 1 equivalent. The stereo center basically now is not touched, that is why there is no inversion. So, here tosyl chloride followed by 1 equivalent of sodium hydride. Then you see this intermediate will now react, you get the epoxide which is desired. So, this way the divergence can easily be created. The next particular example will be a little bit not little bit complicated, is a similar kind of thing. This is example of substrate directed divergence. Here we will give you a starting material. The starting material is having a sulfoxide basically, and the sulfoxide we say sulfurs are chiral, sulfurs are stereogenic. So, this is your lone pair. So, this is a chiral sulfoxide. Now, what is say? I say that the starting material was this one, and the two divergence you have to be create, you have to make this compound as well as this compound, and this compound. Actually, I will now give you the reagent system. The first case the reagent was lithium aluminum hydride, and I give Raney nickel to remove the sulfoxide bond. The second case the hydride donor is little bit different, instead of a LAH you use the bulky hydride donor, and the remaining part is Raney nickel. Now, this is a very nice demonstration of substrate directed chemistry. So, initially what I will write, we first take the parent sulfoxide or the parent sulfoxide which was written here. Now, the sulfoxide you can basically write in two different conformational picture. This is the lone pair. So, I will try to write the sulfoxide in a let us say your R is here, and then the sulfoxide oxygen is here. Initial case I am saying lithium aluminum hydride. So, lithium is small, and then we assume that probably lithium coordinates with this sulfoxide oxygen as well as this carbonyl thing, and your aluminum hydride is here, okay, here. So, this is the transition state for this sulfoxide and lithium aluminum hydride this way. The sulfur particularly this you can write it S plus, the chirality remains basically similar. Now, as this is basically a chelation, this hydrogen where from it will attack? This will absolutely be attacking from this part or this back side of this carbonyl. It will basically attack from this back side of this carbonyl to give you a product where the hydrogen I will now write from the back side, keeping the sulfur thing remain intact, the paratoluene which was the beta or above the plane, your lone pair is below the plane. Okay. So, I am forcing that hydride in this way. If it is closed transition state, it will attack the hydride from this bottom phase, put you the alcohol here. Now, your Raney nickel, which is we already explained, Raney nickel is known for carbon sulfur bond cleavage, Through this way you basically get the one enantiomer which is drawn here. Okay. Now, in second case you are having dibal. Dibal is very bulky reagent. So, now what will happen, the initial sulfoxide you can simply draw the same way as you drawn earlier. Okay. Then the carbonyl, now probably it has to be rearranged in different way, because dibal is sterically bulky, probably coordination was now not possible. So, now in this case the carbonyl carbon and this sulfoxide SO, it will basically aligned in a anti way to have this dipole dipole repulsion in minimum fashion, because this is also electron withdrawing, this is also electron withdrawing. So, this dipole dipole trying to repulse, that is why you have a anti alignment. So, this is the main thing, and then you probably have a coordination here with this aluminum. Aluminum, you are having this hydride and then this bulky isobutyl group, and you can also basically figure it out, this aluminum might coordinate with this electrophilic carbonyl, but is a bit difficult, or you can have a dimeric dibal, which also can be quite possible. You can have a put a aluminum this H with this extra hydrogen, you have this isobutyl, and then this aluminum may coordinate with this carbonyl thing. It was just a basically speculation. Now, this Al minus you have this hydrogen. Now, this hydrogen, it will, there is no other way, it has to attack from this top, So, in this way, now if it is attack, the same way you basically get the basically the carbonyl phase, in one case attack from re phase, one case attack from psi phase, that basically dictates the whole stereochemistry. So, now your remaining part all are similar, your toluene group, your sulfoxide lone pair S plus. Now, you are doing a Raney-Nichols treatment, Raney-Nichols cleavage, which basically give you this OH methyl. So, basically by choosing two different reactions which are fundamentally react in a different way, you can basically create the divergency. So, this is purely a reagent dependent divergency, and probably this kind of reagent dependent divergency are very popular, because you start with a same starting material and you subject to a simple achiral reagent. You do not use the chiral reagent, you have a existing chiral center in from the sulfoxide. It is basically a substrate directed approach. In one case the hydride has been delivered internally, one case hydride is from externally delivered kind of thing, and so that basically gives you the divergency. So, probably we will try to continue this divergency concept for few more example, or we will give you some assignments which you can solve at your own, and then we will try to have a clear cut concept how this divergency helps you to create two enantiomeric product of same compound starting from a same starting material. So, we will try to focus some of the aspects in the next lecture of the stereochemical strategies. Till then, have a good time and goodbye.